In this presentation, I will be describing the process of performance improvement as well as giving relevant examples that will enhance your understanding of the topic. Performance improvement can be defined as the concept of measuring the output of a particular process or procedure, then modifying the process or procedure to increase the output, increase efficiency, or increase the effectiveness of the process or procedure. The first step is identifying the customer. Market research should help you understand your potential customers. Further customer research can help you develop a more detailed picture of them and understand how to target them. It will also highlight key characteristics your customers share, such as gender, age, occupation, disposable income, recreational activities. For example, you can analyze the customer's wants and needs by engaging them in conversation to fully understand how to serve your customer in the best way possible. The second step of performance improvement is conducting a performance analysis. You should determine what the performance discrepancy is, if it is important, and if it is a skill deficiency. If it is a skill deficiency, meaning they couldn't do it if their lives depended on it, then determine if they could do it in the past, if the skill is used often, and if there is a simpler solution. If it is not a skill deficiency, then determine if the desired performance is punishing, if non-performance is rewarding, if performing really matters to them, and if there are obstacles to performing. Now, determine what solution is best and most likely give the result for the least effort. For example, you determine that the performance discrepancy is that there are not enough tables waited in a certain period of time. Determine if the employee has the ability to wait more tables than they currently are. Choose a method that will increase the amount of tables waited in this time period. This is a chart that may give you some insight for analyzing performance problems. The third step is conduct a cause analysis. Forney's 9-step process designed to identify both the causes of and possible solutions for poor performance builds off Mager and Pipe's model of performance analysis. To identify the unsatisfactory employee performance, you should look for questions like this. Is it worth your time and effort to address? Do subordinates know that their performance is not satisfactory? Do subordinates know what is supposed to be done? Are there obstacles beyond the employee's control? Does the subordinate know how to do what must be done? Does a negative consequence follow effective performance? Or could the subordinate do it if they wanted to? For example, the servers are not waiting enough tables, which is decreasing customer satisfaction and restaurant income. To determine the cause, the manager should seek answers for the following types of questions. Why did they not wait enough tables? Were they too slow? Did they forget orders? Drop plates? What were the customer complaints? What orders were taken incorrectly? Are they experiencing negative consequences such as lower tips? Could they improve if they wanted to? These are all questions that a manager should address when determining the cause. The fourth step is to analyze systems. You should perform a needs assessment. There are 3 levels of needs assessment. Level 1 is strategic organizational analysis, which answers the question, which training is needed and in what conditions will the training be conducted. Level 2 is task analysis, which answers the question, what must be done to perform the job effectively. Level 3 is person analysis. This answers the question, who should be trained and what kind of training do they need. For example, in a restaurant setting, strategic organizational analysis could be training needed in knowledge of the food, such as ingredients, preparation methods, etc. Task analysis would be going over the menu with the cooks. And finally, person analysis would be training the servers on their knowledge of the ingredients and preparation method of each item on the menu. The fifth step is gathering data. There are multiple data collection methods such as the following. An interview is a conversation with one or more individuals to assess their opinions, observations, and beliefs. A questionnaire is a standardized set of questions intended to assess opinions, observations, and belief. Direct observation is observing a task or a set of tasks as they are performed and recording what is seen. Tests and simulations are structured situations to assess an individual's knowledge or proficiency to perform some task or behavior. Lastly, archival performance data deals with the use of existing information such as files or reports. For example, have the server come in for a meeting and ask questions on what they're having trouble with food-wise. Follow them on a food run and write down their problems. Then, review the recipes given to the cooks. The sixth step is incorporating customer and stakeholder needs. Once you have determined the type of customer you have, you can better understand the needs that they have. A customer need is a problem that customers intend to solve with the purchase of a good or service. Based on what you know about the customer, you can help determine what their need is and help solve it by providing your services. For example, if you uncover the customer's specific problem so that you can use your knowledge of the person's needs to help find a good solution. Once you determine who your stakeholders are, you can understand how to incorporate their needs by using stakeholder analysis. Stakeholder analysis is a way of determining which stakeholders have the most positive or negative influence on an effort, who is likely to be most affected, and how you should work with stakeholders with different levels of interest and influence. Knowing this information will help you better understand how to incorporate the needs of your stakeholders. For example, in this situation, the server is a stakeholder. If the customer is not satisfied with the meal or service, they will not be inclined to come back, thus lowering the income of the restaurant. The seventh step is selecting solutions. You should choose the tactic that will best fit how to close performance gaps based on the level of performance improvement you need. For example, the manager's best possible solution for the server lacking knowledge of ingredients and preparation methods would be to train them on the food through hands-on experience. The eighth step is managing and implementing projects. You should make sure that objectives are clear and employees know what is happening. This will help you manage a project more efficiently because you won't have people asking you questions all of the time. For example, the manager should make sure the server knows the certain food facts so the manager won't have to constantly answer questions and therefore can focus on managing more projects. The ninth step involves building and sustaining relationships. Get to know the employees whose performance you are trying to improve. Keep these relationships going by remembering things about their personal lives. Employees will be more inclined to improve their performance if you take the time to get to know them and build relationships. For example, a manager remembering that one of his servers has to pick her kid up from school on weekdays at 3 o'clock and therefore cannot work overtime. The 10th step is evaluating results against organizational goals. Towards the end of any performance improvement program, you should compare your results with the goals that your organization has come up with. Hopefully, you will find that the performance gap is smaller than it was at the beginning of the performance improvement project. For example, if a restaurant's goal is for their employees to memorize the menu, the server should be evaluated on their knowledge of the menu. The 11th and final step of the performance improvement process is monitoring change. Conduct performance reviews to see if performance has improved. Do these reviews after 3 to 6 months, and then, based on these reviews, determine if you need to change anything in your performance improvement program. Monitor again in another 3 to 6 months until you get the results you wanted. For example, periodically after implementing a performance improvement plan, take the time to observe each server to determine if the plan was successful in eliminating performance gaps. You may be wondering, why is performance improvement important to the field? Well, it is important because it allows us to identify and analyze performance gaps, design and create solutions to close those performance gaps, and implement impactful solutions. And finally, here you can see where performance improvement fits into the bigger picture as a part of the ASTD model. Thanks for listening.